Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Daniel.
And I'm Leslie, and this is a special edition of Power Couple Series,
Carversation style. Because we're in a car and we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my
So I'm a singer-songwriter, but I also am a father. I'm a friend. I'm a brother. I'm a husband to this lovely queen right here.
Queen Leslie. Follow me on Instagram.
I don't have King in my name, but I'm _DeAnthony on Instagram.
Yeah. And I work for the government. And I'm also a finance coach, and we're also owners of We Promise Us.
All right, so we're gonna get into these quick questions here.
We all know there is no perfect marriage, at least at some point. What are the steps you and your spouse took to improve your marriage when things were not at its best? And did things change overnight or over time? So, some things that my husband and I did. First of all, we went to premarital counseling, and I think that was a great help because there's a lot of things that we talked about in premarital counseling that we might not have thought to talk about.
Right.
And then we also found out on the positive side that there were things that we talked about that came up, and we were happy to say like, oh, okay, yeah, we've talked about these things, so
Right.
this is good.
Check that off.
Yep. And when we got married, we also, when we came back, because we got married in Florida while we were living in California, and then when we went back, we started postmarital counseling,
Right.
which was also a great help. I think it was such a great source for our marriage. And of course, no marriage is perfect. And when our relationship began, it started off really nice, and we had lots of rocky times in between because we were dealing with a blended family.
Right.
And so when you deal with a blended family, there's a lot of other different parts and
Right,
people that are a part of that.
It's not just you two.
Yeah, so we dealt with a lot of drama, baby mama drama and stuff like that. but it all turned out well. See, at the end. Thank you, Lord. The other thing is we kept God in the center of our marriage. No, our marriage wasn't perfect. It's still not perfect, but
Wow.
it's not perfect.
I thought it was.
But we do our best to have an honorable relationship, and keeping God in the center of it all has been a huge foundation in keeping our marriage together and keeping us sane.
Right. Through the insane moments.
Yeah, through the insane moments. That's a good.
We didn't necessarily make it a point to be like, oh, we got to have communication all the time. Make sure we talk. Let's make sure we make a scheduled appointment. No, we just did. You know what I mean? We felt real comfortable with each other to really just talk about a lot of things, like things that some couples that are just starting out dating wouldn't even think to talk about. That's one of the steps. Be honest in that communication. That's step 1A.
Definitely took time for things to change. It took not weeks, not months, years.
Yeah.
It took years for things to change. And it's so important for people that get married or in relationships to realize that things don't change overnight. And don't go into a relationship expecting for your other half to change whatever it is that's going on with them. Don't expect them to change these things right away. These things take time. They take experiences, and it takes maturity. Sometimes it takes a lot of going through back and forth fighting, you know, a lot of talking, communication.
But it takes willingness.
Willingness.
It takes
yeah.
willingness.
Uh-huh.
You know, you have to be willing to see what it is that the other person is talking about. You know, stop taking things so, you know, to heart. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I just to give an example, when we first started going to church, I really didn't want to. She was the one that was going to church. You know, she went without me a few times, and that's kind of what it took. I was sitting at home twiddling my thumbs like, what's going on, you know? But it took a willingness in me to see exactly, okay, I can see what it's doing in her life, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's what we need to see. So you need to be willing to change, but you also need to be willing to see, you know, what could happen, you know what I'm saying? But also on the other side, you know, I think like for you, you know, I think you had a willingness to know that things were going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may not have actually thought that purposely, but at some point, you know, you accepted the fact that things were going to be different. You were just you were being patient. Being patient, that's another step.
Mm-hmm.
Being patient.
Yeah.
You were patient in knowing that things were going to be different. Things were going to change, you know. And it wasn't so much that either one of us were like so bad. Like we got into the relationship and we were just so bad. I don't like you. Well, I don't like you either. You know, it wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a thing of like, we saw that there was some growth that we had to go through. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to be honest with each other, which is another step. I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think one of the top ones, definitely being honest.
Yeah. Ask God for guidance. You know, don't ask him for patience because he will test your patience.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, you must definitely, you know, be willing to weather the storm, because when the storm is over, then you have your happy place. So, of what you guys see us as today, you know, which is great, you know.